How do I discover God's will for my life? Massive question, right? You and I have been leaning in together and digging into what the scriptures say about talking about the spiritual grit and courage and mental health. And so what does that question have to do with any of that? Well, that one question has created so much stress and anxiety in my life. It's also ironically maybe the most commonly asked question I get as a pastor. I can remember moments in my life when I painstakingly sought out the answer to that question. I asked it when I was deciding where to go to college, and later when I was trying to figure out what major I should be. I asked it deciding where to go to grad school. I asked it when I was trying to figure out if the girl I was dating was the one I should marry. I asked it when I was interviewing for my first job in ministry. As I think back, I think one of the reasons I sought to answer that question is because I genuinely wanted to please God by walking in His will for my life. But if I'm being honest, I think an even bigger part of me just wanted to avoid mistakes. I wanted to minimize risk and find perfect fulfillment in the process. I didn't want to get anything wrong and make the wrong choice, hence the stress and the worry. However, what I have learned is that I was going about it the wrong way and even asking the wrong question. Here's what I've found to be true of me, and maybe you can relate. Wondering about God's will was usually me just worrying about my future in disguise. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment. What I wish I had taken to heart earlier in life is what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6. Rather than worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worry of its own, seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. We can trust our Heavenly Father with the rest. Seeking His kingdom means to care about the things our Heavenly Father cares about. Seeking His righteousness means to follow in the ways of Jesus, both of which God has made abundantly clear to us in the scriptures. See, I was so concerned about trying to figure out God's concealed will for my life that I neglected His revealed will for my life. Don't worry, seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. That is at the very center of God's will for all of us. Ultimately, our goal should be to live out what God has revealed rather than stress about the things that He has concealed. Trust that in His timing, He'll reveal what He needs to reveal, take us where He wants to take us, and do with our lives what a sovereign, loving Heavenly Father desires to do. So what if we stopped worrying about the future and chose to seek the kingdom of the one who holds our future? If you're anything like me, I think you'll find freedom not worrying anymore. I think you'll actually find fulfillment in knowing that you are really walking in the center of God's will for your life. And I think you'll see your faith grow as you trust His timing and His plans.